And then comes Are You Still Down?
That's
with
right.
Tupac. Yeah. So tell me how that song developed.
Well, it's interesting. I had this friend, I have this boy, his name is Bezo, and Bezo goes back to the Yo MTV rap days. So Bezo knew Tupac, and Bezo was at the How Do You Want It video shoot, and Bezo calls me up and says, guess who's a fan of your music, and I'm at his video shoot right now, and you need to get down here like right now. And I said, where you at? I'm at Tupac's video shoot for How Do You Want It. I said, oh, okay, cool. He's like, come down here right now. I said, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Came down. It was like Fort Knox. It's like getting through like a barricade to get through like another one, like to show like my ID to get searched to go through another metal detector.
I mean, it was death row. Death row at its height, with the beef at its height. I mean, How Do You Want It? Yeah, I remember when that song came out. I think he was beefing with Biggie, and the East Coast West Coast war was.
This was crazy.
Yeah, I think Hit 'Em Up was already out. So this was like really, and Tupac was the biggest artist in the world, essentially, of any genre.
Well, he had called specifically to have me come down to the video shoot. So I came down. I remember I had Eric B from Eric B and Rakim, you know, the DJ Eric B. He met me at the gates, you know, and he was like, "What's up, man?" I was like, you know, in my car, and I was playing my beats, and what's that? Something new I'm playing, you know. And he got in for a second. I played him some beats. He's like, "Man, you need to play this for Pac. Come bring this in." So I brought the same beat tape, you know, in for Pac, and I saw Pac, met him, saw Casey and JoJo in there, Johnny J. You know, rest in peace as well. He was the one who made the beat for Are You Still Down? He produced the beat. And
and that was one of Tupac's main producers.
Yes, it was.
So he made that for you?
Yes. Well, he made that for Pac, essentially. And in Pac, so the story is I was playing my beats for Tupac, and he immediately started to freestyle right in front of me. I remember Sway and Tech were both there, and they are both witnesses to this day. They were like, I remember when he heard your beats, he just lit up and started just rapping right there, you know, start freestyling. So I was like, man, we got to put this down in the studio. And then Casey and JoJo like, oh man, look, man, you got you one right now, you know, like they knew it was gonna happen, right? So I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll make this happen. I didn't really expect it to happen right away, right? So after that, I kind of went home like thinking, okay, maybe that might happen. 2 weeks later, he gives me a call. Come down to Can-Am Studios. All right, so I come down to Can-Am Studios. And he's got all the gear there for me to basically make a beat. But I look at the parking lot, in the parking lot when I'm parking, there's a burgundy Rolls Royce out there, or Bentley, whatever it was. And my CD is sitting, my first CD, Bonafide, is sitting in the driver's side on the you know, driver's side seat. I'm like, that's Pac's car. Like, oh, he was playing my music. That's tight, right? So just, that was always locked in my, you know, my mind. Before I even got in the session, I knew that he had the album. So I walked in and I saw Pac, and he was like, you know, so let me hear some beats. So I played him the beats, and then he's like, let me play you some of mine. The first beat he played me was Are You Still Down? The beat for Are You Still Down? It's Johnny J's beats. And I was like, that's the one. So I said, damn what I was gonna play. This is the one right here, you know. And right away we got to it, and you know, it was about 3 hours in. I mean, we were pretty much done with the song. I mean, we talked about relationships. We talked about being in relationships that had gone wrong, and sort of like wanting to holler back, being like on some reminiscent kind of like vibes, you know, and almost like that drunken phone call, you know, late night, like to your ex, like, you know, you still think about me, you know, that kind of vibe, right? But in a song, you know, and at the same time, nobody had done a collaboration between R&B and hip hop. It was very rare. I mean, Mary J had done it with Method Man, you know.
I mean, Bell Biv DeVoe were doing it.
Bell Biv DeVoe were doing it. But it was more like, they were kind of like, almost like
high energy kind of.
It wasn't hip hop like we knew hip hop was, like a real rap song with a singing, a singing artist.
Yeah.
You didn't really have that. I think Jody Watley and Rakim did something early on, and you just never really heard that sort of like that aggressive delivery of a rap, and then the softness of a singer right next to it. Because right after we did that song, it became to be this, like, sort of like this, it would just, everybody started doing it. And it was like, it just caught on. And I'm not saying that we were the ones to like first do it or anything like that. I just remember when it wasn't something that was a very popular thing. And I remember turning that song in, oddly enough, them saying, you can't put this out. And
really?
He was still alive, mind you. And then he passed.
Okay, so why wouldn't they let you put it out?
Well, they were very concerned about the fact that we were two completely different artists. I had this sort of like real clean, lover's boy kind of vibe, romantic R&B dude. And then you had, Tupac, thug life, you know what I mean? And how are you going to mix these two vibes and make, he just came off Someone to Love with featuring Babyface and Pretty Girl, and we can't really grime his image up too much. That's what they thought, and I thought, well, that's not really what it is. This is me doing this. This happened for real. This is like a collaboration that happened for real, and this is what's happening out there in the world. People are running into each other and they want to collaborate, and whether it makes sense to you or not is not the issue. This is something that's gonna make sense in the future, but y'all gotta let this happen, And so they sort of like were like, all right, we'll put that in the we'll see, and then he died.